Welcome to Crescent River Bar. This is on the west side of Cook Inlet. I'm Bryan Kirby, Bottomline Charters. I'm going to show you today how we dig razor clams over here in the west side of Cook Inlet, or even the east side of Cook Inlet. It's a little bit different than they do on the west coast in the Oregon, Washington area. If you want to check that out, I recommend looking at Marcus's video. He does a great job explaining that. So a couple of things you're going to need. A good idea to wear at least knee-high boots that, you know, sand is a little wet, kind of keep your feet dry. Also, rain pants is a good idea, and that mostly just keeps the sand off your legs. Some people will wear hip waders, some people wear chest waders. All those are great options. Chest waders on a day like today, super sunny, might be a little bit hotter on you, but you know, you're gonna stay dry all the way around. Tools you're gonna need. You can either do it with a shovel. A clam shovel is generally a little bit narrower than a regular shovel. The different length blades, you have a long blade like this one. They make one that's a little bit shorter as well. I'll talk about how to use this later. Another tool that's pretty common is a clam gun. Kind of how do you use this? This goes over the hole. I'll talk about kind of more details about that later as well. But they have a hole, usually on the bottom, some have on top, but usually on the bottom, that when you go to pull it out of the sand, you put your finger over that hole, and that hole then creates a vacuum and it keeps the sand inside the tube. The other thing that you want to check out on a clam gun, a good clam gun, is going to have another tube either on the outside or just on the inside of the main tube. What this does is it allows air to come back to the bottom of the hole and break the suction, making it a lot easier to pull up your core and your clam. So definitely want to look for a gun with a tube on the side. The other things that you're going to need is a 5-gallon bucket or two. On the west side of Cook Inlet, currently you're allowed two 5-gallon buckets of razor clams a day. And so 2 buckets is a great idea. The other things that are optional that a lot of people wear, some people wear gloves that go to the wrist, and they also make a glove that goes up past the elbow that a lot of people will wear as well. Both those are just kind of an optional thing. Another thing that most people in Alaska don't use, they use on the west coast, would be the clam bag, the little bag you can hook onto your waist and put in there. Because our limits are so high, a 5-gallon bucket's much easier to use. So otherwise, the next step is going to be taking around looking for some clam shows and digging some clams. Let's get after it. All right, so now we're back here on the bar, well, the Crescent River Bar. Let's look around for some shows. So we got a couple right here in front of us. So we have a show right here, a good crater looking show with that's got a filled in bottom. Just next to it, you know, 4 inches away, 5 inches away, is a crater type show. That's another style that we'll see. One that might be a little bit harder to see or tell is going to be this. There's one right here. You can tell because it's got a pile of sand here and it sloughs off down into a crater. So let's look real quick for a couple others. So we're gonna get up here and let's look around. We got airplanes flying overhead today. Beautiful day out here. So here we go. I got 3 more shows right here. Let's look at these. So we'll start with this back one. Another crater style right here. And then we have a bigger one of a sloughed off with a closed bottom crater. And then one more that's right here. That's a little guy right there. That's another little show. And then one more type of show that might be a little harder to see, that's pretty common, is going to be right here. It's going to be this guy. So you have this mound of sand up with a hole in the middle. That's another type of show. There's a clam there too. So not only with these shows I just pointed out, but I'm also going to throw up a couple photos of some other shows that I've taken for you to look at. Otherwise, after those, we're gonna get digging. right, here we go. Let's go look for some clam shows. So we're gonna walk around here. We're gonna look for a little dimple in the ground or maybe a neck or something. Oh, here we go. We got some here. Let's look right here at this guy. So we actually have two shows right here. Okay, we have one right here. You can see that there's an indentation in the ground and some pile up. You guys see that one? And then right here, there's another show. A little indentation all the way deep down. So there's two shows there. So I will show you how to dig this one right here with the clam gun. So what we're gonna do is water, our water is this direction. So we're gonna put the hole in the middle to the back third of our tube. So I'm gonna set that down. I'm gonna rotate this down and oscillate it. I'm gonna cover the hole, put my feet by the hole, use my legs to pick up. Set it right next to it, pick up. And here we go. There's our clam. All right, so we just got done digging this one. Now, right as we were digging it, this guy here showed up. So I'm gonna show you how to dig this by hand. There's a couple methods. What I like to do, I'll describe it first, is go in, pry back slightly to break the surface and rake it off. And then I go in with the tip of the shovel and rake across. Rake across. If I don't feel it, then I'll dig that out and I'll do it again until I feel the shovel. So here we go. So I'm gonna go in, break it, pull, rake across. I heard it. I'm gonna reach in and then there it is right there. Right there we go. All right, so there's two methods right there. And we'll do one more bonus, this guy. So the other option you can do is a lot of people like to dig right next to their hole so they don't break it. And then they'll scrape down and rake across. Oh, that guy's a little bit deeper. There he is. I'll pull him out. It's a littler one, but there we go. So the key, when you go in with your hand, he's down like this. When you go in with your hand, I like to go in my fingers spread out and kind of do this, because then when I touch him, then I know where he's at and I'm not digging in and cutting my fingers. Once I know where he's at, I take my two fingers and I start scooping next to the shell. And then I pull that out and I reach right back in. I'm able to gently grab the shell or the neck and wiggle them out till I bring them back to the top. All right, I mean, all this digging, look, there's another one right there. We got another one there. There was one right here, one there. They're kind of all over the place over here. All right, we're going for another method here. We got Mr. Booz here. He's gonna show us with the shovel and the stick. And the stick is gonna put it in the hole in the show for the clam, and it's gonna tell us how deep he is. And he's gonna dig off to the side of it. And yeah, we'll see how this produces. So he sets it in the hole.
Sometimes you can feel the clam. This one's pretty deep. So
yep.
Be offset.
Offset from the hole, and you can see how it moved a little bit when he got in there as the clam moving. So he digs offset of the hole so he doesn't hit the clam and break the clam. So he'll get down to about the depth he think it is, slightly past, and then he'll cave that side into the hole that he made. And then he'll feel it when he gets down there to it. And then there he is. All right, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video showing you how to clam dig, a couple different methods, you know, using the gun, the shovel, the way I showed it, the shovel the way Mr. Booz does it. Hope you enjoyed that. The other thing, you know, make sure you check out Marcus's video on digging in the West Coast, Washington, Oregon area. It's a great video. You know, hope to see you guys out here, and also check out the other videos on how to clean these guys. A couple different methods, pretty detailed video. enjoy, and hope to see you guys out here on the clam bed sometime.